If it wasn't for the Parkinson's, I wouldn't have the shakes and all the other symptoms and the trouble that it makes. If it wasn't for the Parkinson's, I'd get to sleep at night instead of counting sheep, getting more and more uptight. If it wasn't for the Parkinson's, I wouldn't write daft rhyme. I'd do things that were sensible and worthy of my time. If it wasn't for the Parkinson's, there'd be no books of verse. Could it be this illness is a blessing, not a curse? If it wasn't for the Parkinson's, I wouldn't be here now, performing on the world stage, about to take a bow. If it wasn't for the Parkinson's, you wouldn't be my friend, someone I can laugh with, and on whom I can depend. If it wasn't for the Parkinson's. Right, I'm not going to tumble into all things depressing. I just wanted to illustrate that we're all here for this purpose of making more people aware of Parkinson's and sort of getting through it, really. So I've called this second set a fine romance. I've just collected together all my poems that seem to have a vaguely romantic flavour. I'm not terrible romantic. Let's start with Prosecco and kick it off. Pour me out a glass of fizz, and I'll tell you like it is. I've drunk Prosecco now for years. I dab a bit behind my ears. I can drink it all day long. Prosecco time is never wrong. I like to buy it by the case, as none of it will go to waste. And if you want to really please, serve it with a hunk of cheese. You can guzzle it with mates and sip it slowly when on dates. So pour me out another glass. Let's have some fun and go kick ass. My excuse for that last word of this poem is that that word does in fact occur in the Bible, so I'd be able to get away with it. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about personal things. I am married now, but I wasn't always. Well, I was on and off, and then some. Anyway, I'll explain. Jerry and I have been together nearly 20 years, and we originally met online. If you know how much I hate technology, it's a wonder we ever got together. Anyway, let's go to 2019, just before the pandemic. We had a very unromantic discussion about wills and inheritance tax and decided it would be prudent to get married. Both of us had been married twice before, so we decided this time we'd do it in secret. And Jerry suggested we get married on the 2nd of February 2020. And if you think about it, that's a palindrome, and we'd never ever forget our anniversary. It's a big one. So this first one is called 02022020. An auspicious day, an occasion of note, the 2nd of February, it gets our vote. Wow, it's a palindrome, isn't that great? Good luck to us for choosing that date. We're under the radar and both keeping mum. No one knows what we're up to. We're going to act dumb. It's twice third time lucky, so does that make 6? We want to succeed now and make it sure it sticks. We'll dispense with the fuss and the razzmatazz, the cake and the flowers and a band playing jazz. There'll be you, there'll be me, but no massive crowd. Just a witness or two. We want nothing loud. And then, later on, when we want some fun, it will give us a laugh to confess what we've done. And fun it was. And the best thing of all, it saved an absolute fortune. So persuade your children and grandchildren that the most romantic thing is to do it in secret. And that'll save you all. But then, of course, the best bit was coming back and having to tell people what we'd done. So we went off to see my parents, who were quite used to me spouting poetry at them, and I read them this one. Announcement. What did we do last Sunday, a palindromic date? We got hitched in Bedford, and now we both feel great. For us, it's third time lucky we can forget the past. Oh, time to get the pages started. For us, it's third time lucky we can forget the past. We've been together ages and know that it will last. So please be happy for us as we start married life. Better late than never to be husband and wife. So that's what I recited to Mum and Dad, and they were stunned. I think chiefly because my dad would probably have married Jerry himself. The reason for this is because Jerry can fix things. He's a fix it. My dad was hopeless at everything. So Jerry would always go and bail him out, and that made Jerry a god in my dad's eyes. Anyway, do I care? Moving on. The next poem I emailed out to our friends, and it's called On the Quiet. No gilt-edged invitations with lettering embossed, or hand-tied scented bouquets at astronomic cost. No morning suit with great top hat and well-presented tie, highly polished leather shoes, the best a man can buy. No shantung silk chic bridal gown, nipped in at the waist, carefully coiffured curls, the epitome of taste. And not a single bridesmaid with a basket full of flowers, or naughty little page boys who run around for hours. What sort of wedding is this? It doesn't fit the mould. You've stripped these things away and done something rather bold. Where are the carefully crafted table plans to help you find your seat, and the menus offering options of tasty things to eat? And why is there no best man with his stock of corny jokes that make the ladies blush and appeal to all the blokes? Well, here's the groom, he's 71, he's seen it all before. When it comes to getting hitched, he knows that less is definitely more. As for his intended, she's lived with him for years. She knows which way is up, she's not wet behind the ears. So what on earth is meant by this curious little verse? I'd better make it clear before you really start to curse. Jerry and I got married as quietly as we could, and doing this all in secret was really very good. You've not had to buy us towels, a toaster or a pot, and we've just got each other. We're happy with our lot. Well, I could actually do some new pots now.
And it's actually 25 years, not 20.
No numbers confuse me.
Yes.
Right, this broadly comes under the heading of romantic. So this one's talking about the next door neighbours. I've tried and tried, but can't work out what my neighbours are about. So come and stand here now with me, and we will see what we can see. Every day at 3 or 4, they draw the curtains, shut the door. I can't imagine what they do every single afternoon. I've heard them mention when they're able, they like to get up on the table. Well, don't get me wrong, for I'm no prude, but that to me seems rather rude. So listen closely, then you'll hear grunts and groans, sometimes a cheer. Often, there's a short, sharp crack that sounds to me just like a smack. I've also heard, and it's not nice, some fruity language once or twice. Then later, and they never rush, they both emerge and look quite flush. So what do you think? Is it okay for neighbours to behave this way? Is there someone I should ring to tell about this sort of thing? What's that you say? I've got it wrong? Yes, I have heard of ping pong. Oh, how boring. What a shame. Table tennis is the game. So what was going on in your mind? Moving on. Yes, table tennis. One of our passions, actually. I've played table tennis for 20 odd years. It's an excellent exercise for Parkinson's. So sign up if you haven't already. And here's one called Love All. What happens here during lockdown? What do these two old fogies do? Do they shuffle round in their slippers and wait for their couplet of brew? Take a sneak peek through the window, and I'll tell you what you're bound to see. You'll witness a great act of battle each afternoon around 3. Jerry and Liz face each other, dressed only in shorts and a vest, fired up and ready for action, poised to do what they do best. They each take their place at the table. On hand is a glass of pink gin, which they'll sip at regular intervals as they determine who will lose and who will win. They start off at first with a warm-up and hit forehand shots to and fro. Consistency is usually lacking and the rallies tend not to flow. They get a bit knocked and then switch over. Backhands are what they prefer. Occasionally, once they get going, their shots skim the net in a blur. Raring to go now, it's match time. Liz is the first one to serve. Quite often she completely mishits it, has to focus and not lose her nerve. Jerry knows if he rolls her, I just cut out. I'm back in again. Raring to go, now it's match time. Liz is the first one to serve. Quite often she completely mishits it, has to focus and not lose her nerve. Jerry knows if he rolls her a topspin, he'll probably pick up a point. He aims a fast ball at her backhand and so puts her nerves out of joint. She's starting to feel a bit miffed now, so teases him with her best shot. She's a fan of Jan Ove Waldner and knows that there's power in her block. She sees his back dip beneath the table. She knows he's imparting great spin. She waits until just the right moment, then consigns his shot straight to the bin. As the battle hots up, so does Jerry. The games are a joy to behold. Impossible shots are the norm now. His repertoire surely choreographed. There's little to choose now between them. They take it right down to the wire. At deuce, there's still to play for. They both try to fight fire with fire. They've done this for nearly a 12-month. Each knows how the other one plays. Locked in perpetual motion is how they'll spend the rest of their days. We look back at those pandemic times with, well, quite a bit of fondness actually. It was a rotten time for a lot of people, but we managed to escape that. We were in our own little just married bubble, and we used to just spend hours playing table tennis. It was lovely. Anyway, then I've got one here about our first anniversary, which is, what's the first anniversary? Anybody know? Paper. Could be tissues. Anyway, right, paper anniversary. Our paper anniversary, and it's been a ripping year. We may be slightly dog-eared, but we can still raise a cheer. We've come through a pandemic, left Europe far behind. Now we're on a new page, wondering what we'll find. Our second year together, let's call it chapter 2, will build on the foundations laid down by me and you. We shall smooth out any creases. New leaves will now be turned as we enjoy an intimacy for which we've always yearned. Our third time lucky marriage has so far proved a hit, as we've gradually discovered that we are a perfect fit. Right, Mr. Parkinson's playing me up here. I'll carry on. Our third time lucky marriage has so far proved a hit, as we've gradually discovered that we are a perfect fit. So lots of love, my darling boy. You are my kind of fella. In my book, you surely are a blockbusting bestseller. There'll be words when I get home.
The truth will out.
Now, remember that I said that if we, by having that palindromic date, we would never ever forget our wedding anniversary. Guess what happened? Yes, you're right. I forgot. And I think it was on our next anniversary that I received 3 cards, which was one for the previous year that you'd forgotten, one for the current year, and one for next year in case they Anyway, we're up to number 6, for which I received a very nice present made of
Iron.
Yes. Anyway, that's enough of our relationship. Just to bring you back down to earth, I want to talk a little bit about how life can be pretty tough for you with the person with Parkinson's, and also for the carers of people with Parkinson's. Because there's not a lot to choose between it, really. I wouldn't want to be either of those. But I think that a lot of carers and people with Parkinson's think that love will see them through. Unfortunately, as time goes on, things get more difficult, problems start and burdens become quite heavy. So I make no apologies for this next. Love is not enough. When your husband loses weight, but is still 11 stone, love is not enough. When he's lying on the floor, and you are there all on your own, love is not enough. When he can't untie his laces, now he struggles with his clothes, love is not enough. Day by cruel day, the fear inside him grows, love is not enough. When he cannot sleep and is awake for half the night, love is not enough. When he finally drops off in the soft dawn morning light, love is not enough. When he spills his dinner down his last clean ironed shirt, love is not enough. When he groans in agony as all his muscles hurt, love is not enough. And when his mouth slackens until he no longer speaks, love is not enough. When his tears roll slowly down his cheeks, love is not enough. Right, well, we better bring that back up again, hadn't we? Let's have a flippant one called gossip. We haven't seen her lately. We don't know where she's gone. She must have left her husband. Things have obviously gone wrong. We've tried to ask him questions, but he fudges his reply and tries to change the subject, so we don't like to pry. It's plain that he must miss her, because now he's on his own. He labours in the garden, wears his fingers to the bone. He built a lovely patio about the time she went. Such a shame that she can't see it, because she'd be heaven sent. That one's dedicated to my husband, who every time he sees a freshly dug pot of earth, jumps to the wrong conclusion. And just to show I can be feeling and empathetic, here's one called Just Rewards. Put your feet up, darling. It's time to take a rest. You've overstrained your muscles and run completely out of zest. Several days of sweaty labour have taken a heavy toll. You've dug and sawn and hammered, and now you've hit the wall. So take a few days off now. No need to do a thing. Sit down and take it easy. I'll treat you like a king. You need to keep your strength up, for more work must be done, like the garage roof and the hall floor, and that damp bit in the run. The sanding and the paintwork are waiting there for you. The kitchen lights need fixing, and the cracks need doing too. Darling, are you listening? Why are your hands so twitchy? Oh, no, wait a minute, I've jumped a line. Darling, are you listening? I see you've got your coat. Why are your hands so twitchy and very near my throat? Just for fun. Right, and I've got one here that also introduces you to another side to my husband. And that is, he's a bit of a...
Why are you picking on me?
And he's managed to turn my entry into ping pong, Parkinson, table tennis that I play in Europe. He's now turned it into a treat for himself, and we always have to go to any country now where I'm playing. We have to go via Germany for obvious reasons. If you don't know, that's where you can go really fast because there's no national speed limit. So, Autobahn. Flying down the motorway, steam rising from its wheels, here comes a black Mercedes as its superb form reveals. Jerry is the driver, the passenger, his wife, who likes to take things slowly and wants a quiet life. Her feet braced against the footwell, his flattened to the floor. Her face ripples with the G-force, but still he urges more. He doesn't care for limits and hates to be boxed in. Fast tracking down the Autobahn, watch both his turbos spin. Lizzie clutches at her seatbelt, recites a desperate prayer. The engine gives a stealthy roar, which rumbles through the air. While Jerry feels his pulse race, in sync with his machine, Lizzie's learnt to meditate and not to intervene. Let's leave them to their journey, not for us to interfere, just wish them bon voyage, may their road be smooth and clear. And thank you very much for listening to my poems tonight. I hope you enjoyed them. If you'd like a permanent record, get a book. All the money I make goes to the local support group for Parkinson's UK. Because without these groups, a lot of us wouldn't survive. And we get a great deal of support and happiness from all our friends at the club. So if you know anyone with Parkinson's, send them our way. Thank you very much.